I bet one of you out there has a Power Ranger toy. These are the essential part of the series, bringing the Rangers, morphers, weapons, and megazords to life. And back in the day when we had Toys R Us and there was an aisle full of Power Ranger toys, not everything had to be from the show. There needed to be some type of filler, and that's where today's subject comes, the toy exclusive Power Rangers. You might have missed them. Some of them are too lucrative to be in the show. Tucked away in toy aisles and the salesmen, these gems often go unnoticed, overshadowed by mainstream releases. But today we're gonna dive in deep and give a special look into what makes these Power Ranger toy exclusives special. From new Rangers, old toy repaints, battilizer swaps, and freaky transformations, it's time to unlock the power of exclusivity? Hey, what's up everybody, it's Este here, and today, toy exclusive Power Rangers, we're talking about them. By the way, throughout this video, I'll be showing some of your replies to this tweet. If you ever want to be featured in a future video, you just gotta follow me on Twitter, Dino Vehicles. Sometimes I ask these questions, reply, and you might have one of yours here. Now we gotta look back in the day because Bandai of America, they were the original toy makers for Power Rangers. They were also the toy maker for the Super Sentai series, still to this day. And even though in Japan everything is streamlined with more show accurate morphers, maybe a vinyl figure here or there, when it comes to American releases of Power Ranger toys, they definitely have some creative freedom. And that creativity can be seen from the beginning of the toy line, and that being the Automorph figures. Press a button and the Ranger would have its head flipped to reveal civilian mode. It's as simple as it can get. You know, the Rangers are without helmet in the show, so it does technically exist, but that's where the creativity begun.
Come here, kid. Have I got a cool toy for you?
Power Rangers.m You was where they took it to another level, introducing the Zord Morphin action figures, featuring Zeo Rangers 3, 4, and 5, as they could be transformed and put on all fours, with basically, these guys can transform into small versions of their Zords. We got Eagle, a Lion, a Bison, I think. A little freaky, but it is kind of cool. This would have been a great opportunity, though, for the Turbo Rangers to turn into cars. Brother. That didn't happen. But in space, though, that's when they got a little crazy. Tyler MC was talking about the in-space battilizer. Not for the Red Ranger, though, but for the Silver Ranger. Now, these things are definitely more huge and ginormous and bulkier than the Red Ranger battilizer. But Tyler here describes Zane's armor as being a little more bone-like, with a purple dragon attached to the back, even mentioning it had a spring-loaded pop-out action. It just looked really cool, and it made me wish that stuff like this would have been in the show. Also, something I wish that would have been in the show is the astral armor. Now, I know Sentai had its own little team-up armor for Mega Ranger. In Space didn't really get any of that, but these figures show what it could have looked like with some cool exclusive chest pieces, each one having its own individual design as well. There was also even this funny line where we got Rangers based on the Robo Voyager, with each color being available and having a different helmet. And Shoutout even mentioned this silver Titanus. Yes, they repainted the Titanus from Mony Morphin Power Rangers, but turned it into a spaceship. Oh my god. Honestly, repaints of toys could just be its own whole video. And to top it all off, Heroes of Space. They did figures based on real life astronauts. Charles Pete Conrad Jr., Charles Duke, and Alan Bean. Klutz Arts on Twitter also talked about the Lost Galaxy team battle mode, which were called Explorer modes, with each one of the weapons having its own little action to it. Even Magna Defender got a power up here too. Yes, Lost Galaxy did have its own team-up mode, the Lights of Orion, but this was so much better. We could have just done this. And also with the Conquering Power Rangers line, there's armor pieces that you can attach onto the Rangers, making them look like creatures beyond our imagination. But look at these guys, these are so sick. I feel like Magna Defender had the best one though. And then of course, something really cool about the toy line is that you can take the Red Ranger battilizer and give it to anybody else. In Space did the cooler version of it, but this was more basic, giving Blue and Green Rangers their own version of the battilizer. Comment question of the day: what is one Power Ranger toy that you would like to see in the show? Honestly, let's turn Automorph real. Let's have all the Rangers flip their heads like Ninja, and that's how they transform. There won't be any blood though. Leave a comment down below and hit the like button to lock in your answer. 2,000 likes and I'll do more videos just like this one. Now, Lightspeed Rescue is a pretty cool one because it introduced its own 6th Ranger, the Titanium Ranger, but also gave Mega Battles to the Blue and Green Rangers, which beforehand would only be something we'd see in the toys. So in the toy side of things, they gave a Mega Battle to the Red Ranger and a Titanium Ranger. There was also the Rescue Armor Rangers that had snap-on armor as well as combining elements that you got out of all the Rangers. Bring them together, they make a mega robot mode. Moving on to Time Force though, in the show, the Quantum Ranger was the only one who got a mega battle. But in the toys, everybody else got a mega battle, except the girls. And that's something I have to mention here, pretty sad, because for majority of Power Ranger history, only the guys would get these power-up modes. And every time they would be mentioned, but what about the girls? Why can't they get one? They always say, oh, the girls don't sell. Sad, I know. For Power Rangers Wild Force, of course we got the Rangers transforming into animals, as well as these Battle Rangers with animal-based weapons that all combine into a tank. They also have these bulky Rangers, which has the Rangers turning into their individual Zords. The Black Ranger turned green, by the way. So I think we're getting the gist of it. Now these creative elements are moving into a new era with the Disney era, but Bandai's still making the toys, so they're still going crazy. For Ninja Storm, we had the triple Zord Morphin figures that went from Zord to action figure to roleplay item, the true all-in-one toy. That is pretty cool. You don't really see that a lot today. They also, of course, had NinjaCon being a repaint of Ninjor from Mony Morphin Season 3. Now, I made a whole video about NinjaCon because bro just has a whole different story. He got lore. And of course, even though Red Ranger got a battilizer in the show, in the toys, everybody gets a battilizer too, except if you're the Yellow Ranger. Like, I get it. Blue Ranger didn't get one because she's a girl. Yellow Ranger didn't get one because...
your real name is Waldo.
Is yellow a girl's color now? Come on, guys. For Dino Thunder, we kept the animal vibes going with the red Tyranno, blue Tricera, black Brachiozords being transformable from Ranger Zord to Zord mode, as well as having this Quadro Super Battleized Power Ranger, with the Triassic being the battleizer that we see in the show, but everybody else gets their own version too. Even the Red Ranger? Huh? But here we have one of our first toy exclusive Power Rangers with the Phantom Ranger. Why is he called the Phantom Ranger? There's already one called that. I don't know. Sometimes I don't have all the answers. I guess because of the packaging, you can't really tell the final form is gonna be. Well, for good reason, because it looks like this. It's a Ranger, all right. Basically, each one of the individual action figures come with a body part of the Phantom Ranger. Whether it's an arm, legs, body halves, weapons. It's definitely a little cool having some vibes of Mony Morphin here and there, while at the same time looking like a megazord. It's kind of freaky, but it still would have been cool to see in the show. Moving on to my favorite season, SPD, which got awesome toy exclusives, including giving all the Rangers a SWAT mode, even Doggy Kruger and the Omega Ranger, giving Sam a battleizer in gold. Also, I gotta mention these morph cycles that can stack on top of each other and become a bigger vehicle. I used to have one of those as a kid. And of course, you know they gotta turn into their Zord at some point. Also, Red Rick. Cool, I guess. They also have it where the Red Ranger would turn into a Megazord and a battleized Doggy Kruger would turn into a battleized dog. What? They would also have these flip up heads ones where you can see the actual Ranger below it. Why they give Bridge glasses? I've never seen bro wear glasses. And of course, the SPD Rangers gotta have their battleizers, with the blue one having a red colored one and the green one having a yellow colored one. All of these exclusive toys, and you know what got me thinking? Exclusivity, Esquad. Come on, subscribe and ring notification bell to join the Esquad today, the world's biggest, best, brightest, brilliantest, bona fide squad ever. Esquad comment question of the day. Leave a funny comment down below, put the Esquad in it, and you might be in the next video. That's all you gotta know. I'm out! Now, what followed SPD with Mystic Force and onward is basically a 5-year run of some of the craziest looking toy exclusive Power Rangers ever in life and history. You gotta take a look. We'll start off basic with Power Rangers that have armor that can turn themselves into a dragon. Okay, that's as basic as we're gonna go. Then we got the Mystic Force Lunar Wolf Ranger, which is basically, you know, the purple maroon Ranger, but colored white, red, and gold. Cool, I guess. Toy exclusive. You got Gold Ranger Battleizer. They can turn into a Phoenix now. We got Morph Max Battleized Rangers that can combine together to become a beast. Another Red Ranger Battleized figure that looks exactly like the Ninja Storm one. It's a repaint. We got Legendary Locomotives, which has the Rangers turn into trains. Tokuger, you lost, buddy. Power Rangers first and better. Also, Solaris Knight gets the same Ninja Storm looking battleizer. It looks very weird. Lunar Wolf becomes a dragon, because of course. And Mystic Force gets another battleizer. It's now the Wild Force battleizer. That was a doozy. That was a doozy already, but we're moving on to overdrive. We got Power Rangers that can turn into a vehicle. Drill Vehicles. Blue and Black Rangers got cool looking battilizer forms, and they can all turn into their own version of the Sentinel Knight Sword. We got Automorph Rangers, which the Rangers can turn into vehicles and also talk to each other. We got Turbo Battleized Rangers, which is basically each one of the Rangers having an armor from a different Zord. Red has Black Ranger Zord, Black has Blue Ranger Zords, and Blue Ranger had Red Ranger Zords. Does this make sense? Not really. Also, the Sentinel Ranger and Mercury Ranger got their own morph vehicles. And we got Sentinel Zord Power Rangers for Red and Mercury. These just look like Pacific Rim. I never seen the movie, but that's the only reference I have in my head right now. Battleized Rangers, it's vehicles that turn into Rangers, and a kind of combination of the two. More vehicles, but it's the Ranger that can be inside of the vehicle, that also has a Zord armor mode. Repackaged versions of the SPD Battleizer for Red and Black Rangers. That's the end, but honestly, I thought I was just gonna keep reading this list for another 10 minutes. Shout out to Zryken for this next one. We got the animalized figures from Jungle Fury. They do honestly look like a Battleizer, a much cooler version of that. If you don't know, Jungle Fury didn't have a Battleizer, so I guess we gotta depend on the toys for this one. Deluxe Animorphin Power Rangers, which has the Rangers, of course, turn into animals. We have definitely come full circle. It's the circle of life. How many more circles can we do? Beast Morphin Power Rangers, not Power Ranger, Beast Morphers. But the Jaguar, Wolf, and Tiger Rangers having armor that become a Zord. Also, they look like World of Warcraft characters. Never played that game, but that's the only reference that comes to my head. Also, that's definitely very interesting, having a villain have their own toy figure that can transform with the Power Ranger. Woo! Let's chill for a sec and go back to more cars. Power Rangers RPM. They had vehicles that you can put the Ranger in. Red and Black got one. Black got the orange one, which I guess makes sense. The Carrier Zord. More vehicles with Power Ranger figures with the least paint ever in life. I definitely missed those though. We got the Road Attack Zord, but we also have the Road Attack Zord as the Red and Gold Rangers too. That sounds like a horror episode. We got Motomorph Rangers, which basically, guys, now they got wings and missile launchers. But there's Motomorph in gold version as well as the Trax Guardian Rangers with the Mammoth and T-Rex Rangers. Now you may have noticed these dinosaur Rangers because they are also some of the only toy exclusive Power Rangers too, having Zords seen in the show, but not actual Rangers based off them. It's pretty cool. I made a whole video about them, so you can go check that out. But I would have wished they made ones for, you know, the Carrier Zord and also the Whale Zord. That's all we needed left, I think. And it's really cool. They were implemented throughout the whole toy line, having their own variations as well. Sadly, Yellow Ranger got lickety split. We got Power Rangers on skateboards instead. How cool is that? Also, Guardian Rangers, with of course Vehicle Zord modes and armored modes. And also the craziest thing from the RPM toy line, it's actual real-life cars that turn into Power Ranger Zords. First off, we have a Toyota Prius that turns into the Chrome Prowler Tiger Zord, and we have a Toyota Camry, which turns into some type of engine Eagle Zord. Definitely freaky, but cool. No car commercial though. How'd they get Toyota to do this? Next up, we got Mony Morphin, the toy line in 2010. You know, Bandai was like, you know, we got Mony Morphin toys because, you know, there's no Power Ranger season this year, so we're gonna go crazy. And that's what they did. They put the Mony Morphin Rangers in cycle accelerators. Comes with a power coin. They have spin action Rangers, which gives red, green, and blue spin action and a pull string, like it's Woody from Toy Story.
But no Cardi, no Uzi, no nothing?
Woody.
We have red Tyrannosaurus Dasher and white Tiger Dasher. Has the Rangers put in a Dasher.
What did he say?
I don't know. We have this whole 4-inch figure line, which gives the Blue Ranger shield. That really had never happened before at that point. And this Green Ranger new armor pieces, which, to be honest, was badass. I always thought they were going to put that in the show one day, but they didn't. They give the Rangers regular cycles and, of course, dinosaur vehicles. They turn the Red Ranger into a car, of course. They turned the Rangers into dragons, because I guess they had more of those RPM figures lying around. They had red, green, and black Rangers become, I don't know, robot hybrids with dinosaur-looking weapons on their arms. Tommy just looks like he's ready to kill. Also, something that was in the toys but was never in the show was this little bird thing that the 4-inch figures had. You're supposed to, you know, stand on it or put it on the back. A cool addition, I guess. It lit up.
What is this supposed to be? Is this a bird? It looks like a bird.
But of course, the craziest thing was when they turned the Mony Morphin Power Rangers into flip phones and cell phones. Shout out to Josh of Tokotopic because they have a video about it. I want to do a video about it one day, but that's crazy. I'm still waiting for the Power Ranger to be turned to a smartphone. That hasn't happened yet. Or a computer. When's that happening? Now, for the Neo Saban era and ahead, that's when Bandai was taking a chill pill, not doing as many crazy figures, but there is still some to mention. Like Samurai, that had this figure pack of all the Mega Mode Rangers, with gold being Super Mega Gold. That didn't appear in the show. Also, Blue Boy's friend told us about this, the Gold Ranger having its own little battilizer mode. Also wasn't in the show. They give Decker a whole scorpion creature. That's cool. For Power Rangers Megaforce, we're back with the deluxe Zord vehicles with their barely painted figures, which look so funny. I have to mention that. And also Zord cycles that look a little bit more like Zords. For Super Megaforce, they turned the Turbo Falcon Zord into the Turbo Falcon Megazord, a Megazord that didn't appear in Gokaiger or Super Megaforce. They had a toy commercial displaying that, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. They should put that in the show. But like Super Megaforce, disappointing now. Super Megaforce also gave them cycles based on legendary Rangers. We had a Lost Galaxy cycle, Green Ranger Lightspeed Rescue cycle, and Blue got a Time Force cycle. Personally, as a kid, I had the red one. I love that. There was also the deluxe Zord Armor Rangers, which gives the red Super Megaforce Ranger and the red Megaforce Ranger Zord Armor that looks like they're Megazords. That being, of course, the legendary Megazord and the Gosei. Great Megazord. Also, there was another Zord in the toys, not in the show. It's this Zeo Racer Zord. That would have been cool. Come on, Gokaiger. Don't they love O-Ranger? For Dino Charge, they did bring the Zord armor back for Red and Black Rangers. I just thought these were cool designs. I gotta show them. But look at the black one. Black, orange, some bluish, what is that, cyan? And Thomas Jajubi here mentioned that the Dino Charge Zords, based on extra batteries. They basically just repainted some Dino Charge Zords and called it a day. And that was basically it. Bandai gave over the toy ownership to Hasbro, so now Hasbro was making toys. But the thing is, Hasbro barely made any Power Ranger toys in general, so there wasn't really any toy exclusive stuff. There is some Lightning Collection stuff though that we gotta mention. Like the Ninjetti Rangers based on Cobra Kai characters, yeah. Daniel LaRusso, Samantha LaRusso, Johnny Lawrence, and Miguel Diaz all got their own little Ninjetti form. Some of them don't even have, you know, Ranger stuff on their arm. They're just showing their muscles. Cool. And of course, there were the Street Fighter Rangers, which even though they made a comic book appearance and a short film appearance, some of them just got a toy. Like Cammy White as the Stinging Crane Ranger and Ken Masters as the Soaring Falcon Ranger. But last but not least, we got a suggestion here by Weira, who called it a hipster take, but the original Hasbro Dino Fury keyheads, which has some Void Knight for Void Queen, and of course the Henchman, which when you put it on the Megazord, they do at least look kind of cool at the end of the day. And that was as many toy exclusive Power Rangers that I could find. Was there any I forgot to mention? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do you own any of these toys? Also let me know your experience with those toys in the comments as well. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're at. And of course, as always, stay awesome, everybody.